Hello everyone, this is Fantastic Worlds, welcoming you back to Lovecraft Country and Cultist Simulator Exile DLC tips and tricks. Okay, so we are continuing our trek to find an ending, which is proving to be slightly more difficult than we thought because our options are for so many different possibilities. Now, we are fully set for the Defiance run of killing him straight. No, sorry, we're for the Ascension run, for which we can become an acolyte of the Linesmith, and of course a disciple of chaos and war. Now that's great, except for the fact I don't have a sword or magical right bullet to kill the foe with, or even wound him, which is necessary for both this and the Defiance run. So we're currently stuck trying to collect 7 treasures of chaos, the pentiments, and we're to give them to, well, an eldritch abomination in the form of a rather attractive woman with the yacht. You know, for eldritch abominations, lookers are probably the ones that are the most dangerous. I mean, the giant woman made of skeletal forms with a huge maw that sucks blood. That one you're going to be wary of. But the cute ones, yeah, they'll start eating you before you even realize what happens. Anyways, so currently we have 1 wound for having to do a cross-country trek. Currently we have only 2 cash. We are in Leningrad, of all places. Lenin. It was interesting, by the way, since this is canonically 1925 we're in. Lenin died last year. Yeah, Lenin died in 1924 at the age of 54, supposedly due to poor health. Now, this is a thing that happens to a lot of Soviet premiers. In fact, Lenin's the first one, but I suspect it's just because they keep getting poisoned. Now, at the point, as it notices here, he's dead. The capital carries his name. It carries the scars of the revolution, the Red Terror, and now the September Deluge. In other words, there's been a lot of purges. Constant purges. If you think that the whole Russia being ruled by a ruthless intelligence organization is a new thing, it's been that way since the beginning. The streets still stink of Neva mud. The dim curtained office high in the Tarad Palace. Zinoviev waits Stalin's next move. Zinoviev and Stalin are now 2 forces that are opposed to each other to further control the USSR. And those of us in the future, of course, know that Stalin will win. But when you start off with a study named after you, you're probably going troubled. But yeah, we can start a war here without even trying too hard. But Cult of the Colonel, which means that, yeah, unfortunately, this is enemy territory. Since we're divided to the Linesmith, we can't use the temple here, and of course, a place of residence. But yeah, remember, technically, while the Colonel and the Linesmith are eternal enemies, we don't necessarily have to try and fight and kill each other. It's gods of war. I mean, hell, if I was taking a Colonel Ascension, which is the other one, we'd still be fighting because we'd be fighting to see who dominates who. Now, what the great thing about this is that I told you before about the edgelords. Oh god, technically yes, the Colonel and the Linesmith are the edgelords, and I just thought of that pun. The edgelords is that they represent the eternal problem with war, even authority and war. You see, authority, when it takes control, as it does here in the USSR, no longer is the rebel, they are now the authority, which means that they are now under the colonel's power, which means that then inevitably someone will come to challenge that power. It's going to happen a lot in this place. But yeah, so let's get on to figuring out what we're going to be doing with our particular run today. Now, there isn't much in Leningrad that I want. I think at the most I'm looking at let's see. Yeah, I can get the rifle here. So that's probably what we're going to do. Now, we, of course, have an enormous number of items that takes a while to pack up, but we have no traces at the moment. And we have 4 obscurity to cover ourselves. I also have a restlessness popping up here. It's not really going to be an issue, however. So my guess is that there's nothing here that we truly want. So first thing we do, of course, is to get our exit. See where the heck we're going after this. And there's no reason to do anything else at the time. So yeah, given they have a connection underworld, we're also capable of doing illegal fights, or we're going to be capable of doing forging currency, which since we have that requires forge, we have 7 from her, and I think we have some forge here somewhere. No, I don't actually. Oh, that. What the heck happened? All right. No, we may not have enough. We may just. I mean, there's 2 here for that. There's Orsana's 7. That's only 9. We need 12 total. Oh, well. Kiev. I like Kiev. Very much in the news lately. I've heard rumors the hungriest of Lygians is abroad in Kiev. My pursuers need to tread carefully there, but then so will I. Okay, yeah, that means one of the 7 sisters of the technically the apocalypse. She does help us with the preparing for the end of the world, which is the whole point of all this. But yeah, Kiev is a wonderful place to go after this, but we'll check that out in a bit. The moment, we're going to be seeing what we can do with Leningrad. We might have to get some cash here. See what we can do. Do fast forward since we're just waiting on it. I'm not going to make a usual warm up in the morning. In the beginning. Well, it's morning somewhere, I'm sure. I could use breakfast. Just have this hankering for bacon. All right, sunset. Not really helpful. Gods, why don't you have a... I have enough here if I had a warehouse to be able to do so, but it's not going to last long enough, unfortunately. Oh, well. Now we'll stare at the sunset. Now, do I want... Is it a fascination card you get if you dispose of this without that? Because we do not want rage, because rage, of course, prevents you from moving on. And frankly, I'm not really in the position to do extended fighting. I mean, I have a gun. That's it. Yeah, restlessness. Wow, we've got 2 of them. Oh my god, if this is the main game, I would be in so much trouble. Well, not really. I'd just be painting the heck out of them. We might switch back to the light one. If you are watching this in either way... there it is. See, we can't use the temple for any reason. Unexpectedly, here's a Buddhist temple with painted doors and stained glass windows. But the paint is peeling, and most of the windows have been boarded up. A certain Red Army battalion commander has taken the place over, supposedly for storage, where those who know the passwords permitted to join in the stern ceremonies before the scarred face of the Buddha. In other words, we have Murder Buddha, which is essentially on the face of the colonel. I don't actually know if there's a martial aspect of the Buddha. I haven't really studied. Yeah, my Lotus Smith, I can't actually put anything in here. I mean, if you are to try, boom. Doesn't matter. Okay, where did that go? I've been having cards move around so much. There you go. All right, so basically we pop into Leningrad, hopefully don't get another trace, and find something useful to us, because so far not so great. Oh look, we got a dread. Boom. What do we got? Freezing winds. Again, not terribly helpful. Maybe a rifle or a warehouse. Either will do. Oh god, we have dread everywhere now. I got a lot of winter if I wanted to use it. Well, this is Russia Winter Discreet Office, so I have an option if I want to, of course, do the medical thing I did last time. Now, this may become an option, especially if I start getting traces. I'll do it as quick as possible, just to get enough cash to move on. But if we get something better, we could probably work with that. All right, so, and can't do fighting in Discreet Office, unfortunately. Connection with radicals. Oh, God. I want to set the world on fire. Oh, we could start another revolution in 1925 Russia. I mean, it's not like the people aren't used to this at this point. Now, at this point, I think what I will do is I will begin the medical research just to get a couple of cash. It's not the most efficient way of using the stolen years, but we could use this to give Jennings yet another piece of experience and get him up to 9. So, what I'm going to do first thing of all is just, of course, pay our 1 cash to get the office as an investment. And as we do that, you'll notice I'm not doing traces because I want to get this set up first. Take the medical license, put it in Discreet Office, and then give a year, because essentially that's the real reason people suddenly get well, is that we use magic life force sucking currency, which is what this stuff is actually for, the reason why the Reckoners do all of their things. Okay, we have 10 heart now with this, so we only need 2 heart more, and I could probably do that with the scar. Yep, we'll do that with the scar. That will be everything I need to handle, and we will allow him to progress with his medical license. All right, so there we go. Drop in the scar. That gives us 12, and that is all we need for this entire thing. Hang on 1 second. Rearrangement a bit. Okay, cool. Stay there. All right, so with this, we could probably see we have 60 seconds plus another 10 to get. We have about 3.5 minutes before we could leave. But considering how much stuff we have, I figure we're probably safe enough to pull this off. Let's go. Of course, I'll be wrong and we'll be attacked immediately, because it's just how things operate. This game likes to keep things interesting, which is actually something I like in a game. Dawn. Seriously? 4 and 4. Okay, well, I guess we'll just throw in another this, make it a fascination card. Stare at the sun until we go blind. That sounds logical. All right. The thing is, I'm willing to bet in Russia, since I have an actual doctor doing this, we're kind of more legitimate than most doctors that are practicing. Because I don't really think, if it was bad enough under the Tsar, he had a whole bunch of quacks, especially those who were into faith healing. You know, I mean, Rasputin was just the top of the freaking... Okay, not useful. Was just the top of the pyramid in that regard. But there's always someone. Now, what I can do with this, of course, is I can always put this in order to, you know, preserve one of these. Now, I don't really need any of these right now. So we'll just let this run for a bit. Again, like I said, all of the challenges will be completed. He will get 1 experience, and I think I'll get about 2 cash and 1 obscurity. Which, you know, nothing wrong with that. Could have done better, but official connections. Again, not something we truly need. That's the thing about this time in Russia. There are more bureaucrats than there are farmers. I mean, there's more bodyguards in Russia right now than there are teachers. I'm not even counting the mercs. I don't need more medical credentials, thanks. Keep it going, guys. Let's find something. Those I can restock the freezing winds. Reset that counter just because I can. You know, relatively. Yep, there we go. Yep, we're beating this one as well. The amazing adventures of Dr. Jennings and his traveling... that's okay, now there's a problem. We have a trace on the board. Why warehouse is there? Now, we have the option of using one of the connections and that to remove the trace entirely, but we have learned that if we don't do it right away, even if we do it right away, the trace still counts as being there. So, again, I should have put the body in here to consume it. Completely forgot about that. That's on me. So, what, as they say now? All right, so, freezing winds have been reset, so what should we do with this trace? Should we use our connection Underworld? But if I use that in the warehouse, which I can't actually afford right now. I'll have to wait till this gets done here. Well, I'll tell you what. What we can do is we can wait for the officers to come back, use the 2 of those together to get rid of the trace if we desperately need to. But what we're going to do at the moment is simply, well, we risk another rate. Yeah, I'm thinking we're probably already on our way out with that one trace. Oh, well, at least we got some cash out of it. There you go. We'll be done in a bit. Let's see. All right, so yeah. Operation continues. Why, we're also doing this part here. And Underworld connection, yeah. Figure when we get the office back, it'll be a cheap way to get rid of... Get another obscurity if I really wanted it, or I can get the cash back. Oh, look, a vitality. I can actually get rid of the wound with that, which is excellent. Oh, thank God, I put everything back in the right place. Oh, that's wonderful. All right, so we've had the trace now with him going. What are you doing here? Just 1 slip. I've been careful enough. So, what can we do? First things first, we're not going to be using this connection that if we have 3 cash, we can move on to another location like Kiev and do some stuff. We could, of course, get the quiet warehouse if we're willing to fight it out with the assassins for a while and use our abilities to get even more cash. But we can do that anywhere if we get the right cards. So I'm thinking there's no reason to do it particularly here. Since we can't take the discrete office of the Underworld, and I'm going to get 1 cash back for the discrete office, what we're going to do is take trace, use these both here, and cover my tracks to get an additional obscurity. And at the same time, we'll just book it out of Kiev. We got a little cash from doing the medical stuff, and we're not probably going to get the rifle, and I'm not even sure I can afford it this time. But, you know, let's see what we got. In the meantime, once we're done with that, we should be able to relinquish that wound by using the vitality. Because if it's going to take 30 seconds for the vitality to arise, it's going to take at least a minute for us to leave. Okay, we've got 1 and 2. Not too much cash this time, but that also means we'll pack a little faster. All right, so official connection. I doubt we'll need it, but there's the vitality. 30 seconds remaining on our ability to use it. Let's see. Oh, yeah, just collect it all. Get it safely away. Do not want... Yep, somebody's coming. All right. As well, over here. Maybe get that rifle for lucky. And we can get just enough... We have cash to get it with. All right, so... Security in place. All right, no traces, which means the first thing he's going to do is find more traces. 6 obscurity. It's amazing to behold. Wound. Vitality. And Reckoner learned to redirect life sudden surges. Yep, Reckoners, but not magicians can do this. Essentially because, of course, we have the whole ability of life and to store life energy in this currency, forgiven to us by our patron goddess, the Magical. Goddess of death and mirrors. And also the one who keeps track of things. All right, so this dude is here. We're not going to attack because the first thing he's going to do is obscurity, an obscurity run. All right, come on, come on. How much more we got here? All right, cool. Student Invisible Archer had no doubt prayed to Thunderskin just now. I know better. Does he know it's just an energy? See, the gods, are they archetypes? Are they reservoirs of energy? Are there living entities or just stories that are so real that they become a truth we live by? Who can tell? I'm certainly not going to approach that. Because if there are entities out there and they are listening right now, they're not the sort that I want to get entangled up with. Not in a bad way, anyways. I think we're almost done here. Oh well. Now we could have the rifle, but we'll have better. It's one of the easier ones to get. I think that was the last item. Yep, we are gone. Yep, discreet office, don't need it. And goodbye, Mr. Assassin wandering around. I think you got one of my obscurities. Well, I guess that's impressive. Problem is, now I have one of your damn bodies again, which is going to produce a trace if I don't get rid of it. Alright, so, break it up. Oh, for crying out loud. Wow. Okay. As soon as I step off the train, I smell blood. I turn my head, nothing, only smoke and sweat. I must have imagined it, but there it is, that red copper, a Lady of Wires. Whatever a Lady of Wires might be, it has chosen Kiev as its feeding grounds. It is a Legion presence. I don't know what exactly Legia Club is, but all records know the members are older and hungrier than any of our mobs. We've learned to avoid them. They are opportunity, and they are a distraction. Which means that I could push the other reckoners into her way, which would devour them and also wound the foe. Now, with that in mind, she's currently in an active situation. So, the great thing about this, though, is that she's always hungry, right? No, we don't need to reserve her. What we can do is we can communicate with her. Like me, the Reginas are criminals and fugitive. Unlike me, have been cursed eternally because they devoured their children fresh from the womb. You remember I spoke about that in the primary game, is that if you ascend and unfortunately have a child, you are driven to consume your children. It's considered to be a way of population control for immortals. Still think also it's one of the examples of why the universe is broken. Still, perhaps we can find some common ground. Now, what that means is if I give her the body, which is considered a gift, or a decade, which I'm definitely not doing, that means that she will, in fact, be willing to help me out, including giving me one of the unknown weaknesses. Now, the other thing I can do with her is if the foe or one of the others are present, I can use her to devour them. Now, should that be the case, hang on, get all of this back into place, which is annoying every time we change locations, but I haven't been able to find, they haven't decided to, restore actual functionality yet. The case, the Beguiling Curio, yeah, my comfort numbers are huge. 10. Which means that if I have 12, I can theoretically get one of the comfort endings for the Defiance run. This basically means that you're not broke when you kill the foe, which gives you more options in life. All right, so, but the thing is, we also need to know what the heck we can get for items, because one of the things that is a problem with Kiev is that I need swords to get most of the endings I want. And yeah, it looks like there isn't one in here. So, looks like we only real options here are, well, I don't want another menacing icon, which of course is the 4-point knock one we're currently carrying around. What I do want is I want to be a sword of some sort. The one sword I truly want, unfortunately, start out with means I can't have it. So what we're going to do, of course, is get our exit out of here so we know where we're going. Hopefully it's not a dash cross country again. Although I'm going to be able to tackle that, apparently. And then, boom, let's see what we got. After that, we'll talk to our Lady of Wires and feed her a Reckoner corpse to get her to tell us what one of the unknown weaknesses is. Because I'm not in a position... Oh, there we go. Wow. That is a heck of a run. An old friend Lily's operation in Kiev... Cluj? I suffered since Hungary gave the city up, but her name might open doors. Okay, so it's a good place to run. And if I have, let's see, is it a good place to run, though? Kalishnikko. I know I mispronounced that, so apologies. It does have one of the items we're looking for, and it could get a rifle there, so it's not a bad place to run. Okay, good. Keep that in mind, and we shall see what we shall see. Let's talk to the Lady of Wires. And we're going to feed her a corpse. I seek out Lejean without bringing a gift. I better hope she's in a good mood. Like me. Up. Boom. We can basically... She doesn't like reckoners. I can show her that we're friends by feeding her a reckoner. Even though I am an ex-reckoner myself. Now, while we're doing that, we should probably get right to the reconnoiter. Isn't a lot going to be happening here. We just want to see. We might be able to get another some more cash run since we're a little low. And hopefully before we move on to better and brighter and darker things. I think it's... Alright, so, Lygia remembers. Add an unknown foe's weakness to learn his nature. If you don't, Lygia will give you a gift or eat a reckoner without leaving a trace, although she won't notice informants and won't go after the foe. Now, there's a choice I can do here. Now, if I choose... Hang on. If I choose to take her gift... What was it again? I haven't done this for so long. I'd forgotten. Each one I think has a unique gift. Exile, Lygia remembers, stained gloves. Not sure it's worth anything to me. I mean, it's a 4-point grail, portable, and no comfort. So yeah, let's just go with the unknown weakness. Intelligence, which I love. She's got the lantern symbol, which represents intelligence, because she can only speak in primary magical colors. I'm not going to mock anybody for this ability, especially if they can eat me faster than I can breathe, give a breath. All right, so the faith. We found a church. Lots of those in here, Orthodox and such. And we'll see what else we have before we have to run. Because again, I'd like to be able to make some cash while we're here. But it's going to be through putting people back together or taking them apart. All right. The Horned Axe's disfavor. Oh my god. Horned Axe is not favor my foe. When he works Shadow Falls, he hesitates, but he has any special fear of the other powers. What this means is that if I find this particular one, called the Horned Axe's Shadows, I can use it to distract him. Now, the thing is, it's one of the rarest ones, so I'm not really feeling that's a great thing, but what it did do is it allowed me to unlock one of the three cards. Unlock them all, go to appropriate shrine, and we can get a gift from the Lionsmith themselves. There's a trace and a dual connection. Nothing big here at the moment. Alright, so we may have to leave relatively soon, but we did get one thing out of this. Trace is down and out. Also, I'm not sure I'm going to spend what I would need to in order to be able to get rid of it. Like I said, we did get something minor from here. Granted, in 100 years is going to be an incredibly interesting place. What do we got? Well, technically it's only 98 years in the future. Okay, so we've got 2 traces. We probably should consider going because we're definitely going to be in constant fight. Unless... Yeah, there's not a lot I want to do here. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start exiting. It's going to leave us low in cash, which I don't like to be, but even if I break out the medical facilities and we use the obscurity as a buffer, it's only going to get me 2 cash. Yeah, I think, and we'd have to use the underworld. It's a mess. So, what we are going to do is continue our surveys through Kiev, assuming that we're going to be under assault. But at the same time, we will be leaving. Okay. And at the same time. There we go. Okay. Apparently, the whole feeding a reckoner's corpse to the Dark Lady is what triggered them. Maybe she informed on us. I don't know. Pause, thanks. Heights, not helpful. If you get the rifle, I'll just trade the profane weapon for it. Profane weapons are even more common. But yeah. Holy man. Again, not helpful. More people than things. I need things. At least we're going to be relatively swift in getting out of here. Reinforcements. We'll have an assassin soon. I'm not that concerned about it. Yeah, 3 traces already on. Okay, we definitely... Tell you what, we'll just get the fascination from that. It's not a distraction, unfortunately. Eesh. We are currently... Boom, to Moth location. And where's Kiev? Just in case. Probably nothing, no time to do anything with this, but there's no reason not to pump them out while we still got them. Alright, let's go. I think that's the last item, too. Yep, there we go. And we are gone to a place in Hungary I can barely pronounce. Oh, yay. Kiev, like I said, only really had one use for us. That foe's weakness. Which isn't really much of a weakness, but if you're going to be a Lord of Assassins... Oh, there we go, another troublesome body. Wait, what the... Is Kiev card still in play? Oh my god. We now have a bug. Great. Alright. The regulars of the Café Ordea shake their heads and sadly when I mention Lou's name. She was not kind, but she was patient in a sense. Not like the butcher from Vasily. But you need to meet him, so we must make, I'll make an introduction. So, Butcher Vasily is the current leader in... God help us, what's the name of the place? Well, hopefully it's still here. We're low on cash, unfortunately, which is going to be a problem, since I don't want to sell any of the weirs for a loss, but... Oops, this goes here. Again, we gotta spend these minutes just rolling through this. What's that? Now, if I could retire, I'd be really set for it. Well, almost completely set for it. Go 4 of 7 that require for that. This stuff is just stuff for carrying. So keep him next to it. And yeah, Klunish. Luzhnepka. Nestled in the mountains of the sunset, they are the city of the Archangel Michael. I remember it mostly as a place where I drank too much zuka and got into a fight with bricklayers. We've all been young. This also remembers would have been why he was under the tutelage of his father/foe. Alright, so we need to get some stuff in here, but we also are low in cash. So if it comes down to it and we get a warehouse, I will be setting up that fight club. What's interesting is I could also pull this on Kiev, which is weird as hell, because I'm going to try to avoid taking advantage of bugs. Alright, so, what do we got? Grand Townhouse. Can't afford that, unfortunately. I have to sell some stuff, and that really wouldn't be worth it. Let's try again. A little click, by the way, lets me know they reset a cycle, which I have been paying attention to, although I had not been mentioning heights. Not helpful. Need that damn artifact, and we need to stay in town long enough to do it. And this is going to be a... Yeah, there's the first trace, official connection. Not sure I can use that, but can use it to get rid of the trace. The problem is, of course... is that they can still use that devouring trace in order to get rid of it. Now, 1 trace. Okay, we'll be dealing with some problems shortly. Figure out how we're going to deal with them. We have not ejected, so we're okay. So, virtual connection would cost me 1 year to use the T2 connections, which is a little pricey, by the way, in order to be able to give the... trace away, which would mean that we'd hopefully be able to handle it. This might actually be worth it. Official connection, 1 year. Get that done. 10 seconds down the road, and we get rid of the trace. Alright. Like I said, slightly more expensive than I like to use, but will allow me to cover my tracks. Excellent. Alright, so, discrete office. Looks like we're going to be kind of stuck doing this. Take the 1 cash. Alright. Now, buy that plate. Oop. We don't want another trace, so we're getting rid of that one. So we will switch over to the discrete office. And we'll start the whole process over again. I know. This traveling medical show is kind of a... not the most exciting aspect of that, but exciting aspects are somebody trying to chop off my head in this game. So, we're trying to keep things... logically less, you know, less so. Drum unceasing, that will take care of all those problems. And if we get rid of the trace and he doesn't actually pop onto us, we should be okay. Otherwise, we're going to start bailing. There we go. We're going to get rid of that trace, and that means that he will not be able to find us. Boom. That brings up 1's obscurity, back up to 6 obscurity. All right, let's try again. Let's go. Option. Secluded villa, not what I'm looking for. Keep going. I have 7 obscurity. It's a bizarre. I'd finish the game if I didn't, or if I hadn't vowed not to run. All right, there's a trace. Ruler. I do not like that. Yeah, traces are going to add up on us, unfortunately, which means we're basically going to burn all of our obscurity as a buffer in attempt to get, because we're not going to be able to pull that off again. Okay. I'm not paying a decade for a miner. All right, so, Dawn. Practicality. Think practicality. So I'll get rid of the... Oh, wait, the body. Whoops, need to get rid of the body. Thank you for reminding me. Back of my mind. And fascination, 2 moth influence. Just because we might need it. Although we should really regen the heights. Pistol. Come on. You know what I want. Can't quite afford it yet, mind you, but you know what I want. I like the fact that every time I put the body into the medical practice, I always talk about using spare parts. Alright, so... Underworld connection, not helpful. Some cash, which is helpful. I can always sell this back for 1 if necessary, or I can try again with him. I can't, or no, with enough. Do I have enough heart? It's 2 and 2, that's 4 and 4. This gives me 8, plus the 1 is 9. Yeah, we're going to have to think about what we're going to do with this stuff. Alright, so we have 2 cash. I can't theoretically buy the silver. Still a little light for the villa. They've got 1 trace. He's going to spend a lot of time doing so. We still need to do that. If we want to use a discrete office again, plus this, so it's 9 heart. 2 more heart for this makes 11. I still need 1 up. Boom, got it right there. 9 and 4 will be fine. That will allow us to be able to create another set of 2 cash for once a year. I hate to say it, but we're going to probably be here long enough to that be a problem. I need more cash, so I guess we are going to be continuing our doctor's practice. Without the actual doctor, mind you. Alright, so first things first is we stick in the doll. It means that if I have to run, I only lose the doll, which is okay from my point of view. Alright, but there you go. Alright, so continue our little escapade. Alright. This, of course, means we throw in you, I believe. That'll bring us to 14 heart, which is more than enough to be able to do what we need to do. I'm playing my magic guitar and dancing with my doll. That's going to do it all. Sunset. Go forge. Okay. Shade that out, I believe, for something. And continue looking for that damned artifact while we're still trying to make cash for it. Trace. Restlessness. Good, good. Alright, what have we got? Reinforcements. We'll be dealing with some problems shortly. I'm going to let him burn through all the obscurity first. Right then. Medical credentials. Ugh. RNG Jesus just hates me. Oh wait, did I never get an exit? Did I never get an exit? Wow. I'm a fool. Alright, so we're going to get an exit card under the gun, which is the first time in a bit I've had to do this. Okay, so apparently my sloppiness is my greatest enemy. Alright then. We got... That's what we want. Art about finality, which is going to be this plus 2 of our cash, which doesn't actually bother me as we're about to get a bunch of cash. from our medical practice. At the same time, we should probably consider what we're going to be doing about this guy. He's the assassin, so I'm not super worried about him. He's going to take a while to burn through that obscurity, and he probably will eventually get tired of it. Now, considering I have the item that I am in fact looking for in just a moment, inclusion epoca. Let's see. Yeah, the rifle is the only other thing that's really going to be useful to me. So why we're here, we should probably see where we're going next. If you want to really be hilarious, I can borrow this, which is hilarious. It also has the rifle, by the way. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got screwed over by losing one of my companions to a bug. There's a part of me that isn't caring that much. Abios unveiled, the old city of a painting foundered in snow. Behind its bleakest tower, a sickle moon rises. 8 winter, 4 grail. It, of course, is an asset. It is worth 2. And it is comfort, but it's not a pentiment. Oh, I honestly thought it was. Oh, well. Still decent to bring my... Wow, I have 12... 12 comfort includes the office, so yeah. I'm almost close enough to have gotten a comfort run, but again, I can't kill the foe with my current setup, so yeah. Hopefully that rifle shows up sometime soon. But yeah, I thought that this was one of the paintings, because most of the paintings are, but it isn't. Also, Abios is the setting of one of the books, Kiev of Abios, and it is a... Well, it's actually a reference to the Lovecraftian story about cities that were destroyed in ancient cities of far-off powers that were destroyed in a cataclysm and then consumed by winter, because he's kind of not really into happy settings, as you could probably guess by most of his works. So, right, let's just keep going. We got some stuff to do. Let's see. Yeah, we're getting there. Need that cash to leave anyways. Radicals. Budapest. Ooh, I like Budapest. What is Budapest? What does it want to do for me? Does Budapest have actually anything I want? Not really. Which is kind of interesting. It may have... Whoa, does have one thing, that's going to cost me. Ooh, looking forward to it, actually. Something else. I sometimes think I'm a bit more into risk than I should be. But in the meantime... Now, which one do I actually want to do? This or Kiev? Now, that's an interesting question. This would allow... Both of them, I think, the only thing I'm looking for is the rifle. So, what I should probably do is just try to play as normie as possible, despite all of the flaws, while I wait for the cashing out of the medical office. All right, so another trace, which basically means we could upgrade to reinforcements, but again, it's just primarily drum and ceasing. Yep, keep going. Primarily, it's just going to be burning off possibly of some or all of our obscurity before we leave. All right, so quiet warehouse. Now, I do actually want that. So, could, between Lala and a few other things, make us some serious cash here doing some fighting. If I want to burn both the funds when they come out, and, of course, getting the connection to the underworld. But what we may want to do is just leave and then set ourselves up somewhere else. Because, again, the obscurity will act as a buffer, but eventually we'll run out and we'll have to do some fighting, and you know how that goes sometimes. It does well, sometimes it doesn't do well. Right, so yeah, we already got the Reckoner underboss, which is a problem. I have to use some of these connections to avoid stealing stuff when we get to that point, but that is pretty much, yeah, feeling that we are leaving. Once we've got the cash. Right, cool. There's our 2 cash. There's everything else back into place. So, what we want to do is we want to head to Budapest and prepare to depart. Alright, so we're just going to be leaving. He's going to burn through our obscurity. If necessary, we'll fight him off. Meantime, we'll continue trying to find that damned rifle with the 1 cash that we have still remaining for now. We'll lift this up to make sure that it's not taken. There you go. Not taken, not taken, not taken, not taken. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Medical credentials, not what we want. Still looking for the rifle. think. Whatever else we can get. Alright, so yeah. Packing. I'm not picking up that trace. It's not really worth it. Okay, so he's going to try to summon the foe, which is interesting. The foe can get rid of all of my obscurity simultaneously. Sunset. Well, get another restlessness anyways. And this. We got one more shot, possibly it being a rifle. Right then. It's widening the search. He's going to try to call the foe. Restlessness. Reconnoiter. See what we got. Dawn. Great. This is getting annoying. Just staring at the sun the whole time. Apparently I'm an idiot. Well, that's pretty much known at this point. Yeah, I think we is leaving. And we're going to have another unfortunate corpse soon. So yes, this entire thing has been the traveling medical show, Grand Townhouse. Not really, no. Right, discreet office. Whoops, see if we can get that cash back if we're quick enough. Whoops, no, I can't sell it. It's just disposed of. Oh well. Too bad. Would have been nice to get that back. Like I said, basically too many details to try to keep track of. It's causing me issues. Okay, so he's going to burn off another obscurity because he's looking for us, but we are already packed and we are gone. And goodbye. Hello, body. Unnecessary body. And here we go. Arrival. It's freezing, but I am holding court in our usual place at Varesilet. Her usual widow's black playing chess between meetings with clients. I'm getting she killed her husband. I thought you might turn up, she said resignedly. Please tell me you haven't brought them here yet. Not that I'm aware of, no. And it's not releasing the old one. Oh, gods. Okay, we have contacts. We're going to have to take a minute to reconstruct all of this. Sorry. It's not really my fault, unfortunately. We have a lot of stuff we are just carrying around at this point, and we still don't have, unfortunately, what we need. Just get up there, would you? Sigh. Honestly, but there is something here we can get, one of the sacraments, and it's a very strange one, and I'm hoping I'll be able to show it to you by this episode. This episode is unfortunately... Yeah, we're only have 15 minutes left, so we'll probably be able to do it. Probably. Alright, so... And medical credentials. Alright. As well as the Beguiling Curio, which, yeah, it's 2 grail. Not super. There is our contact. There is our fascination and our 1 cash. We definitely need to be able to figure out how we're going to get more cash here. Now, of course, I can just simply sell something, but that's going to reduce our comfort. And it would be interesting if I could get a Defiance run to end with 20 comfort. 30 if I could pull it off. But the first thing, of course, we're in Budapest. The first thing we do is we see where we're going. No need to bring up a trace while we're doing it either. Also, we're going to have a 2 lantern, which is great. Now, the vitality has been... Sorry, 1 lantern. The vitality has been great, but as you can see, there's really nothing useful for that I know of. If you have something useful for the erudition... Still trying to pronounce it right. Tiriana. Before I was bad, I was negotiating a sale of life with the president of Zogo's people in Tirana. I still have her address. Yeah, I think you start off with a potential to get a ruler's thing there. But yeah, we've got our exit strategy. So that means we have to decide what we're doing. Now, one of the options we have, and we've always had for a while, is to drop a false trail, which would give us some time to look through stuff. Now, this is a 10%, this takes a while, there's a 10% chance of eliminating one of our things. And if, we have to decide if Budapest is worth it. Now, Budapest, like I said, doesn't really have, yeah, it doesn't have a lot. It has 1 thing that I want. It's not even an object. So what we're probably going to do is we're just going to do our standard hope we get something useful before we're forced to leave town scenario. We still have the 1 cash to leave if we have to, but like I said, I'm hoping for something other than the damn medical practice. Although that will cost us. So what are we going to use? Bring it up with? Secluded villa, not helpful. Thanks. Okay, still no trace, though. And discrete office. Yeah, we seem to be stuck in a rut here. All right, so we know what we're doing. Discrete office. Cash. As well as, boom. Knock this out. And drop it off. Medical credentials, discrete office, and 1 year. Oh well, at least get our obscurity back. Which is a little strange, but... No, not him. There. There we go. That gives us our 10, plus my scar will be enough, obviously, and we will see what we will see. Now, again, let's try one more shot for this. Probably. Okay, so, there we go. Put the scar in. That puts us at 12, and we're fine. And we get rid of the body, too, when we get to that part. The vivisectionist getting rid of bodies, how appropriate. There's a trace. I was what is not seen? This is what I wanted. Within all the city, there is not one statue whose eyes are open. Why is that? Lygian is a pentiment. But wait, I can't take a pentiment with me now, can I? I mean, one of the Lygians with me, but I can take a souvenir. You see, I will show you. And I think I actually have something appropriate. Here we go. Yeah, we're going to talk with her. Search for something I deem. Medusa Lygian. Peel said to me once she might be the oldest of her kind still living, and she is dead. It was kind of a thing Peel said, but now in the rainy, half-visible streets of Buda beneath the blind eyes of the statue, remember the other thing it says, what is not seen? This not seen is the velvet, if you recall. So, what we can do is we can, in fact, place anything that has moth in here, and she will come for us. Why do we want her to come for us? I found my answer to Medusa's riddle, and I think she found me. Of course, I never saw her, but lost an hour out there in the night, and now I carry a wound over my heart since it's healed. This is what happens to go for trouble. Now, why am I going out for a... if I really do meet a Lygian, why did she spare me? I have my suspicions. Why would I want to get wounded by her? Because that is the sacrament of chaos, and that it will put the fifth one, as we're getting closer and closer to the... to hopefully getting to the moth ending here, which is still the most likely ending we're going to get. It also means that we don't have to go out anymore, really. We still have that one trace we have to deal with, which, you know, we've got one. We can burn the connection here as well as that, or get the cash back from the office, which might actually make more sense, considering what happened last time. Okay, so yes. Boom. Nothing. The rain has found its way through my overcoat and found its way back my neck. She's still out there if she's anywhere at all. Now, she's still... Ooh. Oh, God. Did you? You killed one of my... Oh, God. I can't do this. The bugs are killing this game, I swear, because I had the moth, I had the appropriate object for it, and yet she didn't give me the pentiment. Oh, God. Do I have to restart this and hopefully reset it back to this base version? I think I can do that. Oh, I am so sorry, everyone. I am absolutely and utterly sorry about this. Clarity, grid snap size, keys, normal sound. Where is the thing I'm looking for? High contrast. Oh, I may have to go back to the main menu for this, unfortunately. But yeah, that's the problem. Really, providing a card with moth aspect, she will give you the pentiment, my unhealing wound. But the problem is that she didn't. She gave me this. There was a malfunction. Instead. So, like I said, that pretty much renders the game almost completely unwinnable for me due to the bugs. Now, what I'm going to try to do is, unfortunately, we're going to save and exit. And next time around, we're going to have to try to figure out how we're going to do this. Let's see, settings. Can we do this? Can we actually somehow figure out how to do this? I don't know. I thought I saw an indication to do so for the, to turn it back to the original version, not to see if I can find a way to do that between games. But yeah, I don't know what to say to you guys, but the fact is that this isn't workable because that particularly killed whatever updates they're doing at the thing is unfortunately killed my, run, because I should have been able to give her that card. Not only that, it should have sent the pentiment back to me, even if it had failed. It did not do so. It consumed it. Consumed one of my companions. Consumed, yeah. I don't know what he's doing with this game, and unfortunately that means I probably am going to have to break off from this until I get an all clear or figure out a way to get back to the base version of this game. Apparently, I've looked up this thing, and his updates show that he's trying to set it up for the Book of Hours, which makes no sense to me. If he's got the code for another game entirely called the Book of Hours, which is supposed to be the next one, then he should be working, I think, not on the game that he's publicly released. Just a thing, you know what I mean? But yeah. Like I said, I do apologize for that as it ends. I do apologize for being unable to continue this particular run. We'll probably switch back to Darkest Dungeon because, unfortunately, I was expecting this to run a little longer, and I have not fully developed the lore and the lore episode for the rituals of this game. Like I said, this is kind of leaving a bad taste in my mouth, and this was one of my favorite games, so hopefully, during the time that I spend, I'll be making a complaint, obviously, spend doing Darkest Dungeon, I will be able, this game will figure itself out again, so it ain't there at the moment. So this is Fantastic World saying farewell from Lovecraft Country, and I will see you next time. I'd like to thank my Acolyte level supporters, whose contributions help this channel grow and hastens the inevitable digital apocalypse and rise of the Dark Lords of content and data.